Hello bediddlers, how are you diddling? Let's play another stage that I created. Magma Mountain of Moderated Madness. It was called Moderate Madness, but I literally moderated it because I think there are bits that were a bit unfair. And so now I'd like to think that it's a fair challenge, and certainly this stage is bigger and more difficult than the first one I posted, but you know. And as before, I will play it once with my regular weapon, and a second time using the different weapons that I've assigned, and it should be a very enjoyable experience. There we go. And here we are. Background music from Mega Man 11. The Torchman stage, in fact. Below, we have tiles from Mega Man 9 and 5 combined. This enemy here, you go up to it, shoot its shield, it'll drop it, and start spitting at you. The height of rudeness, I should say. These droplets there, they do harm you, but they come into play later. That's just to show them off. These fire-dropping enemies drop, as you can see. That fire will hurt you. We now come to our first gimmick. Introducing a safe environment. You can't die here. Well, you can if you go all the way to the top with this platform. And you go off screen, but yes, you jump on this and it goes up. We now use them in a more hazardous environment. Wait for that fire to clear. There we go. These magma enemies can be killed from a very safe distance here, but as you can see here, they throw fire at you. Kill them like that. And again on this block, kill it with these magma flows. They are instant kills, so be very careful traversing this bit. Now here you want to be very fast. Not very fast, but fast enough. Here, be as quick as you possibly can. There we go, otherwise they can kill you, those magma flows. Of course, if you jump on the platform and you jump off again, the platform will go away, but you can reset this room and do it again. I'll show you how. Just hide behind this. Cheeky Met down there. Jump up like this. And you enter the room again. Now you might be thinking, how do you do this? It's very, very precise timing, but what you can do is go over here. And there you go, you can clear it like that. Now, you can go down or up here, and we're going to start off by going up. The upper route, which is essentially going into the mountain, you might say. Not into the mountain, but up into the mountain. And we're introduced to our another gimmick. This flipping platform, you jump on it, it flips, like that. And that's how that works. A nice fun little platform, and your skills at using it will come into play later. We know how these work. There we go. Use your ability to shoot through walls to kill that shield attacker. There we go. We now come to some very precise jumps here. Again, the weapons I've given you can make this a bit easier. But it is doable without your weapons. You can do it with, yes, you can do it without any weapons. But I'll show you how I would recommend doing that later. Now, a hazardous use of this platform, because obviously you can die there. Right, now, we'll come to this section here, where we've got that Met up there. It's quite annoying. You can kill it with weapons, but you can also do it without weapons. And I'll show you how. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tricky, but doable. Put our skills to the test here again. I hope that you've learned how those platforms work. We've taken the upper route. The lower route is better, because that life there, that little Mega Man face, will give you a full energy, but that's very difficult to get. It requires a very precise jump. Precise timing here. There we go. We can't actually get that energy tank without weapons, so we're going to skip it for now. And we come to our first. You might think it's the boss, but no, it's actually a mini-boss, and it's Napalm Man from Mega Man 5. And we're going to buster him, just to prove that it can be done. Very fun fight, actually. He has 2 attacks. He will shoot an upward barrage like that. Or, let's see if he does it there. He does this attack as well, where he just flings a stream of them at you. There we go. And this is how I recommend fighting him. requires a lot of action. He's actually a lot harder in this in this remake in Mega Man Maker than he is in Mega Man 5, because in Mega Man 5, the way he works, his attack is based on how close you are to him. Whereas here, it's more random, it seems, so that's worth bearing in mind. That energy over there, you can get it with a very precise jump, but I would recommend using a weapon, and I'll show that off later. We now have a spike drop, which I think is more daunting than it actually is. There we go. And there we go. That's a bit tricky, but it can be done. Let's continue. We're now inside the Magma Mountain itself. Well, that's the idea I've gone for anyway. These are very precise drops that are required here. Jumps, I should say. Now this room here, this magma beam was initially pointing at you horizontally, but that just didn't work because sometimes it would activate and you just get yourself killed, so that wasn't very fair. You know how these things work? It's a different colour, but it works the same way. I'd recommend killing that first, otherwise that's going to be a very problematic section. Energy if you need it. Wait for these flamethrowers to clear off. Now we're going to really need to put our precise timing to the test. Jump on that ladder. Now you need to be fast here. Jump, jump, jump. There we go. Whoa! I think that's quite a fun section. I do like sort of speed puzzles like this. We need to get that orange key to unlock that orange gate down there. And with that, we have reached the boss. And the boss is a Mega Man 7 boss. Shade Man. And the tricky thing about Shade Man is the fact that he's too high to shoot for most of the fight. And indeed. And so you have to wait for him to come down like that, and then you can absolutely barrage him. He's got a couple of attacks. The grey thing that he sends at you, that will freeze you, and then he shoots these sound waves at you, and they hurt. And the sound waves, the green sound waves, reflect against the wall and become more powerful. We'll do it again. Yeah, don't get frozen by that. As you can see there, he's absorbed the sound waves and he shoots them back at you. So yeah, a interesting fight, I think, and well realised in 8-bit, in my opinion. There we are. We can get some more barraging with more hits here, and you should be fine. And there he goes. There we go. Okay, let's check out the other route. And this route, we go into the Magma Mountain immediately, and we're confronted with these droplets, which do a lot of damage if they hit you, as you can see there. So don't get hit by them. Timing required. This bit here should time well. Well, it didn't time well, but never mind. Usually it does. Wait for these droplets, and this here, we already come to our boss gate. If you time this well, there you go, get yourself in there like that. And we got ourselves a checkpoint. And this time, it's another boss from Mega Man 5. It is Stone Man. Again, we're going to use our regular weapon. This boss again is also a little bit harder than the original, purely because of the terrain. Because I've put little spikes in the middle there, which may make it a little bit tricky. But again, nothing you can't handle. And of course, when you're sliding to dodge him, you may slide into the spikes, and I think that's the main danger here. Stone Man himself doesn't do a whole lot; he just jumps around like an idiot. And he nearly killed me, but he didn't, so that's always good news. Come to myself another checkpoint, and we get these enemies again, this time green. I coloured them green basically because they're inside the Magma Mountain, that's the only reason I did that. There we go. We come to these magma flows again, I hope that you like them. There we go. A little bit of respite here. You can actually preemptively kill that totem over there, and I recommend doing so. There we go. Oh, and a change in music as well. This is a Wily stage theme from Mega Man 10. A particularly fantastic one, if you ask me. This, you can kill this mech with just a buster, but it requires very precise timing. Like this. There you go. And you can grab that. That energy tank up there, you need a weapon for. Now, this, I put this section here, this sliding section, so you can actually see how far it goes on for. There are 4 magmas. And you can actually do it if you're really quick, like that. There we go. I think that's quite thrilling. At least I think it is. Little metal up there. There we go. Again, doable with your trusty Mega Buster. These platforms again, so I hope you've remembered how they work. That mech there is, I placed that there so it sort of distracts you. There, distracts you. Now, this bit gets very tricky here. I recommend killing that shield attacker preemptively. But of course, the danger here is that as you attack him, you may jump too far into the spikes. Again, a much easier to kill with the Mega Buster. And here we are. We're back to where we began. Ta-da! And now let's try that again with the different weapons that you have in your arsenal, because they can make this stage a lot easier indeed. Start with perhaps my favourite, the laser trident from Mega Man 9. Pierces through shields, which makes those enemies a bit of a joke, to be honest. The dual satellite deflects the flames. And it's very useful. Oh, weapon energy, don't mind if I do. So yeah, this is a very good weapon indeed. The Gutsman's ability from Mega Man 1. You can bonk these fellas on the head, like that. Very satisfying. You can also freeze them with the Freeze Cracker from Mega Man 7. And here, this is a block that you can pick up with the Gutsman ability. You can bonk it on the head, like that. You can do a lot of bonking on the head actually. Very satisfying, I think, killing enemies with these blocks, because you really are rubbing it in. Now, this next weapon might be your best friend in this level. It is the Time Slow. Slows down those magma things. As you can see, they haven't even appeared yet, so that is your friend there. There we go. Again, the laser trident, this weapon, can pierce through shields, so that is going to be a very good friend of yours. I think it's quite fun here if you the Freeze Cracker, as you can see, it splits apart like that, and it's quite satisfying when you it gets an enemy off a rebound. Let's equip the dual satellite. Ding! Dead. And like I said here, use your weapons to clear this. Create a block and you have a lot more clearance for that section. Take that. As you can see here, the weapons are your best friend here. They make the level a lot easier, which was basically the point. That enemy up there, that metal, let's wait for it to get into position and let's deflect. There we are, a Freeze Cracker into its face. And now we can cross this section with gay abandon. Again, you might be daunted by this. Use this. Use the Time Slow, and it completely nullifies everything. Life there. That's tricky to get though. I'm not going to risk it. Little bit tricky that. How'd you get that E-tank? Create a block, slide in like that. Now we come to Napalm Man, and he's weak to the dual satellite, and it will deflect all his napalm bombs at him, like that. He can also jump onto you like that, which was inconvenient. There you are. Keep doing that. Oops. Keep doing that, Napalm Man. There you go. That's the way you do that. Create a block here. Makes getting that energy over there a lot easier. Same deal here. If you want that weapon energy, use the block. Use the Gutsman block to get it. I think I've shown off all the weapons, I think. So they're all incredibly useful, if you ask me. Similarly here, if those droplets bother you, Time Slow. Although, to be honest, as you can see there, I was a little bit put off there, so I just jumped into the spike like an idiot. But still, the time slow can be a very good friend. Let's use it again. Freeze! Wait. There you go, you get plenty of time here. That's the way you should do it. This enemy here, blast it with the laser trident, and you will be golden. A tricky weapon to get there, but be very precise. Don't slide too far, otherwise the spikes will kill you. This bit here might be a concern. Guess what you can use? The time slow. There you go, absolute simplicity itself. Now this block here, these blocks are different from the other blocks, and there's a reason for this. There's a little secret there. What I want you to do is place a Gutsman block there, jump on it. You're thinking, well, what do we do here? Slide. Oh, you get an M tank, and an M tank basically fills up all your life and your weapon energy. This bit here is tricky. Time slow, my friends. Can we do this in one go? Yes, we can. You have to wait, though, for it to run out. Worried again? Crack out the time slow. I recommend, there's a little bit of weapon energy here. Fill up your guts block. It's funny, because when you use the time slow, it slows the music down as well, which is a fun, neat little trick there. Right, we're now back at Shade Man. And he is weak to the guts blocks that you can see on the floor. And all you have to do is chuck them at him, like that. And that is very satisfying, in my opinion. You can also kill that Met with the guts block, like that. Sometimes it will drop an item, but it didn't this time. There we go. And all you have to do, chuck blocks at him, and he will die so much quicker than with the regular weapon, because you can actually reach him when he's in the air. And there he goes. Not a hit taken. Except that death, but we ignore that. Let's show off the alternative path with weapons. These Power Massler enemies from Mega Man 5. There we go. This is what this section is supposed to do. For some reason it was out of sync. But I think this is quite fun. You just slide and you don't get a hit. Fun. I'm not using weapons. Laser Trident is your friend. I think Laser Trident is my favourite weapon from the game it's in, Mega Man 9. It's just a blast to just chuck it at things. Right, we're now going to fight Snowman with his weakness, which is you call it the Ice Cracker, the Freeze Cracker. Does a nice chunk of damage there, and you can dispense with him relatively quickly. Oh, and I just walked into him like an idiot. But there we go. A couple of laser tridents will teach these enemies a lesson. This bit here, of course, use the time slow if you need it. Now you're wondering, how do you get that? You need 2 guts blocks, and you can slide in like that. That Met is quite irritating. Deflect a shot back at it and kill it. You might be thinking, this is daunting. Time slow, my friends. There we go. It also amuses me, and you can obviously, that Met up there is a little bit annoying. Rebound a Freeze Cracker into its face. Similarly with this one here, makes it a little bit easier. Tricky section here. And the same goes for this section. You can actually create a block and chuck it at it like that. What fun indeed. And there we go, we are back to where we began. But there's one more route that I'd like to show off. Okay, there's a suspicious block here. Remove it! and we come to an alternative route. You can either slide straight through and come across this room, but I don't personally recommend doing that. I think that's just a little bit more annoying, and you waste a lot of guts block, and you need guts block to clear this. If you run out, you can go back. So you can't get trapped in this room, because that would be bad design if you could. Oh, I want that. Let's continue. Power Massler. 2 blocks will do it. There you go. And by doing that, you skip this nonsense over here. A full energy refill. How'd you get it? Gutsman blocks, of course. And we're back to this room, which we know only too well. And with that, I've shown off everything this level has to offer. So give it a play yourself. Use the weapons, and I hope that you enjoy what you see. That was a cheap shot, wasn't it? With that, thanks very much for watching, and I shall see you next time.